Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. Today we're taking a look at the world of video games and learning. You know, a lot of people think video games are just for fun, but there's a ton of research out there that says games can actually make you smarter. So get ready to level up your brain power as we explore this fascinating topic.
I'm ready to dive in.
Okay, great. Before we start, I was curious. You know, in your initial request, you mentioned how much you loved archaeology growing up. So I was wondering, did you ever play Tomb Raider? You know, like Lara Croft and all?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, come on. Who didn't want to be Lara Croft back in the day?
Yeah.
It's hard to say if it directly sparked my interest in archaeology, but it definitely fueled my imagination.
Right. It makes you wonder how much those kinds of games can influence our interests in learning. And you know what's crazy?
What's that?
The global video game market generated over $180 billion in 2022. And it's projected to exceed $200 billion by 2025.
That's huge.
It's massive. I mean, it's even bigger than the film industry at this point.
It's a serious industry, and I think it's about time we start taking its potential for learning seriously, too.
Absolutely. And that's where we get into this whole idea of game-based learning, right? It's basically using the fun and engaging aspects of games, like challenges and rewards and all that, to help people learn more effectively.
It's all about taking those elements that make games so captivating and applying them to educational content. So instead of just passively reading a textbook or listening to a lecture,
Right.
you're actively engaged, solving problems, making decisions. You're part of the experience.
It's kind of like those flight simulators, right? Instead of just reading about how planes work, you actually get to try flying one. Well, virtually at least.
Yeah, exactly. And that hands-on approach can make a huge difference. Not only does it bring the subject matter to life, no more boring lessons, but it also taps into our natural motivation to learn. We're driven by challenges, we love rewards, and games provide that in spades.
It's like sneaking in education while we're having fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Which brings us to serious games, right?
Right.
These are games that are specifically designed for educational or training purposes. And we're not just talking about those simple educational games we had as kids.
Yeah, I remember those.
Like, where you learned about the human body or like even blood typing. Remember those?
Oh, yeah.
There are some really sophisticated, serious games out there now that cover everything from geometry and algebra to like disaster preparedness and leadership skills.
The market for serious games is absolutely booming.
It's incredible, really.
Yeah.
And what's even more fascinating is that the benefits of playing video games, they go way beyond just the educational content itself.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
There's a growing body of research showing that playing video games can actually enhance a whole bunch of cognitive abilities, like thinking skills and stuff like that.
It's pretty amazing what we're learning about the brain and how it responds to gaming.
Yeah. Now, in your notes, I noticed that you enjoy those fast-paced action games, right?
Yeah, I do. Why?
Well, studies have actually shown that playing those kinds of games, the ones that require quick reactions and stuff like that, well, they can actually train your brain to process information faster. And that leads to faster reaction times, not just in games, but in real life too.
So it's not just about hand-eye coordination. It's about improving our overall cognitive processing speed.
Exactly. And it's not just about reflexes either.
Yeah.
Research also suggests that video games, especially those that emphasize collaboration and communication.
Oh, like team-based games.
Yeah, like team-based games can actually improve teamwork skills.
Makes sense. So all those late-night gaming sessions with friends might have been secretly prepping us for the workplace.
Yeah, who knew, right? And there's even more.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, yeah. Studies have linked playing video games to improvements in creativity, focus, and even visual memory.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, think about it. A lot of games require you to think strategically, plan ahead, and make decisions, sometimes under pressure. And that can actually help develop those skills in real life too.
Like leadership skills and problem solving.
Exactly. And some games even involve managing resources and economics.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a crash course in practical decision making.
It's amazing how games engage our brains on so many different levels. It's like there are these multifaceted learning tools in disguise.
I know. It's mind-blowing when you really think about it. And there's even evidence that video games can help with language learning.
Oh, really?
Yeah, think about it. When you play a game, you have to understand instructions. You might interact with other players, or even just absorb the language of the game itself.
That's true. I never really thought about it that way.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It seems like we're learning more and more about the positive impacts of video games all the time. But of course, we do need to address the concerns that some people have, especially parents.
Right, like video game addiction.
Exactly. And the potential negative effects of spending too much time in front of screens.
Those are definitely valid concerns, and it's important to approach video games responsibly.
Absolutely.
Like any form of entertainment, there needs to be a balance. And luckily, there are rating systems in place that can help parents understand the content and age appropriateness of games.
That's really important.
So they can make informed choices for their kids.
Right.
Monitoring gameplay, encouraging kids to play together rather than alone.
Collaboration.
Exactly. And setting clear time limits are all key to promoting healthy gaming habits.
It's all about finding that sweet spot, right?
Yeah,
Where you can enjoy the benefits without falling into those potential pitfalls.
absolutely. What I find fascinating is that our understanding of video games is evolving.
In a good way, I hope.
Yeah, definitely. We're moving beyond that outdated view of them as just mindless distractions.
Right.
And recognizing their potential as valuable tools for learning and development.
It's like we're discovering this whole new level of understanding
Pretty exciting.
when it comes to how people learn best.
Yeah,
It is.
it really is.
And it really challenges our preconceived notions, of what learning can look like and how we can engage with educational content in a meaningful way.
It's like we're unlocking a secret level in our understanding of how the brain absorbs and retains information. We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive so far, from the economic impact of the gaming industry to the cognitive benefits of gameplay, the rise of serious games, and even practical tips for parents.
Right.
But, it's important to acknowledge that while there's growing evidence of the positive impacts of video games, concerns about potential negative effects are definitely valid and should be taken seriously.
Absolutely.
Responsible use, content monitoring, age-appropriate choices, all those things are key to really maximizing the benefits and minimizing the risks.
But, what really stands out to me in all of this is this shift in perception. Recognizing video games not just as entertainment, but as powerful tools for learning and development.
Yeah.
Does that align with your initial thoughts on the topic?
It does. It really does. It's exciting to see how research is revealing the multifaceted nature of gaming
Right.
and challenging that outdated view that it's simply a waste of time.
Right.
The potential for growth and learning in these digital worlds is becoming increasingly clear.
Absolutely. And those studies that we discussed about faster response times, improved teamwork, enhanced creativity,
Yeah.
they really highlight how the skills that are honed in games can actually translate into real-world success.
It's true.
It makes you wonder how traditional classrooms might evolve to embrace this potential.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. Some universities are already incorporating educational games into their curricula,
Wow, that's really cool.
with instructors using them in various ways, some as core teaching elements, others as supplemental tools. It really speaks to the flexibility and adaptability of games as a learning medium.
It's incredible. I mean, imagine a future where classrooms are transformed into these interactive gaming arenas, right? Where students learn about history by virtually exploring ancient civilizations.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Or mastering math by constructing complex virtual structures.
Yeah,
It's like stepping into those textbooks and becoming part of the story.
exactly. And those immersive experiences have the potential to be far more engaging and memorable than traditional, lecture-based learning.
For sure, for sure. And, we don't have to wait for the future to harness the power of game-based learning.
That's right.
There are already countless educational games available, covering a wide range of subjects and age groups.
Right.
Parents and educators can do their research to find games that align with their children's interests and learning goals. And even incorporating games as supplemental activities or rewards within existing learning environments can be really effective.
I completely agree. It's about finding those creative ways to integrate these engaging experiences into the learning process.
Right.
And as more research emerges and best practices are established, we can expect to see even more effective and impactful applications of game-based learning in the years to come.
So while we might not have Lara Croft teaching history class just yet,
Right.
it's clear that the world of video games has a lot to offer, the realm of education.
Absolutely.
And as we move forward, it's crucial to approach this potential with, open minds, critical thinking, and a commitment to responsible and ethical use.
I think that's really important.
Yeah, like we've uncovered this hidden treasure trove of learning opportunities.
Yeah, it is.
But before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with a thought-provoking question to ponder.
Given the rapid advancements in technology and the increasing popularity of video games, how do you think the landscape of education will be transformed by the integration of games in the classroom?
Wow, that's a great question. It really makes you think about all the possibilities and, the potential challenges too. Will we see a future where homework assignments feel more like, like exciting quests or something?
Right.
Or where virtual reality field trips become like the norm?
That would be amazing.
I know, right? It's fascinating to think about how these immersive experiences could totally reshape the way we learn and how we even just engage with information.
Absolutely.
I mean, what do you think?
I think it's an incredibly exciting frontier, and as technology keeps evolving, we can expect to see even more innovative and impactful ways to use games in education. Imagine, students could learn about history by actually stepping into a virtual coliseum or, explore the human body through some kind of captivating 3D game. I mean, the potential to make learning come alive like that, it's huge.
It really is. It's incredible to think about how games can, bridge the gap between the virtual and the real, creating these learning experiences that are not only engaging, but really stick with you. It feels like we've only just scratched the surface of what's possible here.
Yeah, we really have.
But even at this early stage, the potential of game-based learning is undeniable.
Absolutely. And, as we move forward, I think it's really crucial that we approach this with a sense of responsibility and, mindfulness.
Right.
We really need to consider the ethical implications, making sure that games are being used in a way that truly benefits all learners, and, to continue researching and refining best practices for implementation and things like that.
It's like embarking on a grand adventure,
Yeah,
We're exploring uncharted territories in the world of education.
it really is.
And who knows what we'll find? Maybe we'll discover some amazing hidden treasures along the way. But for now, I think it's time for us to power down our consoles and step away from the screens for a bit.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the fascinating world of video games and learning.
It's been a pleasure exploring these really intriguing concepts with you. And, just remember, the quest for knowledge is an ongoing journey. So keep exploring, keep learning, and, keep playing.
Until next time, stay curious.